Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining. Sunil here. Can you hear me? Please give your confirmations on the chat box now. Thank you. Thank you very much for the confirmations. Welcome to the second day of the Python course. Let us stop the chat. Let us stop the chat. Thank you very much for joining. What's the plan for today? I'll be introducing a new editor in Python called as Edit Plus. You will learn how can we write comments in Python, what is an identifier, and what are the rules of identifiers. We'll be discussing about this. You will know about the keywords of Python, how to declare variables. We have never declared variables. In fact, in the yesterday session, it's also one line of program. You will learn how can we declare variables. You will also know about functions in Python. So this is our plan for today's session. This is planned for today's session. So before starting today's session, I have some questions based on the concepts what we have discussed in the previous session. Please respond in the chat box. Are you ready? I have some couple of questions. I have a couple of questions which we have discussed in the previous session. If you're ready with answers, please respond in the chat box with your answers. Can we save a Python file in our laptop? In case if you can save the Python program in your laptop, let's say C drive or D drive, what is the file extension? The Python file extension should be dot. What is the file extension of Python? Please respond in the chat box, please. Okay, now chat is open. Chat is open now. What is the extension of Python? The file extension of Python is .py. Yes, thank you very much. Yes, we have learned our Python. We have learned and we have saved the first Python file in our D drive. I think so. In D drive, we have created a folder with the name Sunil, and this is our first. This is our first Python file. As you are right, you can extension .py. If you may have questions, 1 minute. Some of you may have questions. Sunil, I am saving my file. One more question based on the concept what we have discussed in the previous session. Second question. What does IDLE stands for? What does IDLE stands for? What does IDLE stands for? Please respond in the chat box now. What does IDLE stands for? Integrated development, you are right. Please respond in the chat box. What does IDLE stands for? It stands for Integrated Development Learning Environment. You are right. It's a REPL tool. Integrated Development Learning Environment is a REPL tool where it will read the Python code, evaluates the Python code, prints the output, and ready for the next statement. So it is an IDLE. How to verify whether the Python is installed successfully in your personal laptop? How can you verify, my dear friends? You have done installation of Python. How can you verify whether the Python is perfectly installed? Is it perfectly working in your personal laptop? If you want to verify whether the Python is successfully running in your personal laptop, you have to verify it from the command prompt. Open the command prompt. Yes, from the command prompt, just write the word Python. Just write the word Python. If you're getting this response, Python 3.11.2, if you're getting this response, that's a proof that Python is successfully installed. Perfect. If you're getting this response, perfect. Yeah, right. Thank you very much for your responses. You also know how to install Python. You also now ready to verify whether the Python is installed or not. Okay, let's move on for today's session. We close this environment. How do you close this environment? How do you close this environment? We already have learned it. Exit, not just exit, open the brackets and close the brackets to close the environment. One more exit to close the command prompt. Yes, let's move on to today's session. Let's discuss about editor. Let's discuss about editor. What is an editor? I have one question to you. We have learned a first, we have created a first Python program. We have created a first Python program and saved that particular Python program in D drive Sunil direct folder, and the name of the file is abc.py. Agree? Yes. In D drive, friends, in D drive Sunil folder, this is the location. And what is a Python program? The name of the Python program is abc.py. Okay. How did you write the Python program? What is the editor you have used? Editor is nothing but where editor is the environment where you write your first program. We have used Notepad, nothing special. We have just used this editor. Editor is Notepad. Editor is a variable environment where we write our Python program. These are the editors. We have used an editor called Notepad, and this is the first program which we have created and we have saved it. You can open that particular program using the editor. Now let's open with what is the environment they have used. We have used nothing special, a simple Notepad environment we have used. And this is the first Python program, a one line of program to display some characters on the screen. Print statement is used to display some characters on the screen. Important observation, whatever you want to print some characters, you have to enclose it in single quotes. Can you see we have single quotes open, single quotes closed. So this is the first program and we have used Notepad. We have used Notepad. Okay, now Notepad is the editor. Now let's get started with today's session. I'm introducing you one more editor called Edit Plus. If you're comfortable with Notepad, yes, you can start writing the Python program in your Notepad. But it's more better if you can use Edit Plus instead of Notepad. Like Notepad is an editor we have used yesterday. We have opened the Notepad and we have written a first line of program. Like how we have opened the Notepad. Instead of Notepad, I recommend you to use Edit Plus. Please install Edit Plus on your personal laptops. And please use Edit Plus environment for writing your Python programs. I'm showing you how to install Edit Plus. Go to the site editplus.com. Go to the website editplus.com. Like Notepad, Edit Plus is a more comfortable editor to write Python programs. This is the site editplus.com. In this editplus.com, go to downloads option, go to previous version. Here you have downloads. Observe, here we have downloads. Under downloads, scroll down. Let's maximize it. Under downloads, go for previous version. Go for previous versions. I am selecting the previous version. Please wait. Yes, now I am in download previous version. Please select Edit Plus version 4. My laptop is 64-bit. Edit Plus version 4, 64-bit. Please download this one. Edit Plus, download Edit Plus version 4. Because I have the license key, I'll be sharing you the license key. Don't worry. I have the license key for version 4. I'll be using the license key. I'll be sharing. And please download Edit Plus. Looks like the network connection is lost. Perfect. I am downloading Edit Plus version 4. I think it has been downloaded. Yes, it has been successfully downloaded. Yes, it has been downloaded. Where it is downloaded in the downloads folder. It's an exe file. What is the size of this particular file? The size of the particular file is just a small file of 2.18 MB. Please download this Edit Plus and then install it. We are installing Edit Plus text editor. Similar to Notepad, this is also works. Accept. Are you sure you want to install Edit Plus on your laptop? Yes. Just start copy. Congratulations, setup has been successfully completed. That's it. I have installed Edit Plus. I have installed Edit Plus. Once you install Edit Plus, once you install Edit Plus, you will find the Edit Plus in the icon. You will find the Edit Plus icon in the Edit Plus icon in the desktop. So go to desktop. Go to desktop, my dear friends. Edit Plus. This is the icon. So you will find this icon. In case if you don't find this icon, if you go to Start Programs, if you go to Start and search for Edit Plus, you will also find this. So Edit Plus install. Once it is installed, open the Edit Plus. Accept the license agreement. Click on yes. Just click on OK. Just click on yes. That's it. Edit Plus is installed. Edit Plus installed. Okay. In case if it asks you to use trial version, for me, I already have a key license. I will be sharing it to you. Start using Edit Plus, accept the agreement. You will get a pop-up. Do you want to use trial version? If you get a pop-up, do you want to use trial version? Select OK. I want to use trial version. Trial version comes with 60 days. Don't worry. And I click on I agree. 60 days or 45 days. I'm not sure. I agree the trial versions. Please start using Edit Plus. Please start using Edit Plus. Okay. Now the first program that is printing Hello World. I have used it in the notepad in a previous session. The same program, I'll write it in Edit Plus now. I will write the Edit Plus program. I will write my one more program. This time, the only difference is I'll be using editor called Edit Plus. Edit Plus is more better than notepad because it identifies keywords. It's very easy to read. It's very easy to understand the errors also. I recommend you to use Edit Plus. I recommend you to use Edit Plus. Okay, let's write the same program, which is printing a statement, is printing a small hello program, hello world program. But this time I don't use notepad. Instead, I use Edit Plus. Open the Edit Plus. Open the Edit Plus. I want to create a new Python file. I want to create a new Python file. How to create a new Python file? Go to File, New. Very simple. Go to File, New. Do you want to create a C++ program? Do you want to write Perl program? Do you want Java program? No, we want to write a Python program. Select others. Select others because we are creating a new file. Select others. And here you can see you can write a JavaScript program. You can write CSS. You can write an XML file. But I want to write my Python program. Select it as Python. Yes, because I want to write a Python program. So select the option as Python. Just click on OK. So this is the Python program which you are trying to create. It's an empty file. And I want to write a program to display some hello world. It's a print statement, you know it. So I'm writing a print statement, print, open the brackets. Whatever you want to print, you can write anything. For example, I want to print good evening. Single quotes close, whatever you want to print. Single good evening, all. Whatever you want to print, you print it. Open single quotes close the brackets. That's all. That's it. This is a one small line program. And how do you save this Python file? Just not writing a program. You have to save the Python file. Where do you want to save it? Go to File, Save As. Where do you want to save your program? I want to save it in the same location. I want to save it in the same location. In D drive Sunil folder. Yesterday I have created a file with the name abc.py. And today I want to save the program with xyz.py. Can I do it? No doubt you can do it. Go to File, Save As. Where do you want to save your Python program? I want to save it in my drive, D drive, and the name of the folder is Sunil. In this particular folder, we already have abc.py. This is the file which you have created in the previous session. And now I want to save it with a name. You can see save as type automatically it is taking py file because it's a Python file, it understands it. And now I'm writing it as xyz. It can be any name, it can be your name. I'm writing it as xyz.py. I have saved the Python file. You can also see it in your Windows environment. abc.py is the file which you have created in the previous session. xyz.py is a Python file which I have just created today. Yes, this is how I've shown you how to create a Python file. The only difference is yesterday I have created it using Notepad. Today I have opened it using, I have created it. This is more comfortable. You can see it is very colorful. You can identify the whatever you write it in single quotes is shown. It's colorful. There are a lot of advantages of Edit Plus. You will understand it soon. File is created. But how do you run the program is the same. Edit Plus is an environment editor where it helps you to write a Python program. But for running the Python program, the process is the same. Open the command prompt. Open the command prompt. Go to the location where the Python file is available. Right now, your command prompt is pointing to C drive users del 767490, but my Python file is available in D drive. So go to D drive, go to the location where the Python file is available. The Python file is available in the Sunil directory. So go to CD stands for change directory, Sunil, go to the folder right now in the Sunil directory. You have the file available. What's the name of the file? What is the name of the file? The name of the file is, yes, you are right, xyz.py. How do you run it? Python, use the word Python, followed the file name. What's the file name? xyz.py. The way the program should be executed is the same, no difference. Whether you are creating using Notepad or whether you are creating using Edit Plus, it's up to you. But the way we run the program is the same. So Python file name xyz.py. Oh my God, sorry, it's not xyz, zyx. Oh, it's not xyz. So the file name is, you can see here zyx.py. xyz is not available. It's clearly showing you the no file available. If this file name is zyx, that's okay. So are you getting the message? Good evening all. Are you getting the same message? Good evening all. My dear friends, please respond in the chat box. Am I clear in explaining you how to use Edit Plus? Concept is simple. Yesterday we have learned Notepad. We have learned the Python program. Python is saved with extension py. The only difference is yesterday I have used Notepad. Today I am using Edit Plus. From now, I recommend you to use Edit Plus. I recommend you to use Edit Plus. Tomorrow I'll show you the license key, wherein you can apply the license key of Edit Plus in case it will ask you. I'll be showing you the license keys. Do not worry about this. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you very much for your responses. We are done. You are now comfortable, my dear participants. You are now comfortable creating a Python file using, whether it is Notepad or Edit Plus, you are now comfortable using creating a Python file and running a Python file to get the desired output. Let's move on. Edit Plus. We are now next. Move on. What is the next thing? How to write comments in Python. How to write a comment in Python. Let's say I want to modify my Python file. My Python file is zyx.py, whatever it is. Right now, my Python file is having only one line of statement. Can I add a few more lines of statement? Print. Happy learning. Can I add one more print statement? Welcome to day 2. How many print statements are there in this Python file, my dear friends? We have 3 print statements. First print statement is good evening, happy learning, welcome to day 2. So when I run this particular Python file, what is the output you get? You get 3 lines of program. Good evening all, welcome and day 2. Happy learning and welcome to day 2. And the same program, Python, the file name is zyx. Can you see? The file name is zyx.py. As I have included 3 print lines. As I have included 3 print statements, you're getting 3 lines. Good evening all, happy learning, welcome to day 2. Perfect. Okay. Now, I don't want to execute line number 2. My dear friends, I don't want to execute line number 2. What is line number 2? Happy learning. I don't want to execute line number 2. If you don't want line number 2, you can delete that. You can delete that or you can comment it. Whenever you comment it, that line will be ignored. That line will not be executed. I don't want line number 2 to be executed. Whenever you don't want line number 2 to be executed, go to line number 2 and please use hash. What is the symbol I'm using? My dear participants, what is the symbol I'm using? I'm using a symbol called hash in line number 2. As I have modified my Python file, I go to file, I go to save it. I have saved my Python file and I go back to command prompt and I run the same program. This time, are you getting good evening all and welcome to day 2. Are you getting happy learning? My dear friends, are you getting happy learning the output? You are not getting happy learning because this particular line number 2 is commented. So now you know, whenever you don't want a particular line to be executed, whenever a specific line or you want some set of lines to be executed, all those lines, please prefix with some special character called hash. Hash is used for commenting the Python code. Perfect. We are done with the next point. Third point of today's session. Python identifiers. Now I'm moving on to Python identifiers, especially for non-technical people. Especially for non-technical people or people who are from technical background like BTech or whoever it is, especially newcomers into coding. Don't get afraid by using these technical jargons like identifiers. Don't worry about these technical jargons. Whenever you come across technical words in the IT industry, you don't get worried. It's not complex. Python is already simple, as I told you. So let's learn about what is identifier. Okay, you will understand what is identifier. Do not worry about this. Let's make this simple. I'm explaining about the term called identifier. What is an identifier? Look at this. Name in Python program is called as identifier. Don't read the next line. Name in Python program is called as an identifier. Okay. So what do you mean by name? So Python program, this is a Python program. Okay. This is a Python program. You said what is an identifier? Name is an identifier. So what is name? You're talking about file name. What do you mean by name? So name in Python program is called as an identifier. Name refers to, it can be variable name. It can be variable name. It can be class name. It can be method name. Names are called as identifiers. In this Python program, are there any variables? There are no variables. Are there any classes? There are no classes. Are there any methods? I have not introduced any methods. So there are no identifiers here. If I use variable name, if I use a variable, the name of the variable is called as identifier. Variable names are called as identifier. For example, I'm writing a equal to 10. A is a variable, and I'm storing value in that particular variable. That a variable a is called as identifier. Identifier is for identification. Your name is an identifier. I am identified by Sunil. Sunil is an identifier, my name. So identifiers are nothing but names. Don't worry about this. Let's look at this. Let's get started with variable names. As it is time, let's get started with variable names. When I write a equal to 10, when I write a equal to 10, a is a variable which has a value 10. So this variable a is called as identifier. So when you are creating variables, you have to provide names to the variables. Agree? When you want to create some variables, main purpose of the variables is to store some value. When you want some calculation of two numbers, you need one variable to store the first number. You want some variable to store the second number. Variables is used to store the value. So when you want to create variables, you have to provide name to the variables. Those names are nothing but called as identifiers. As simple as that. In our case, I'm creating a variable a equal to 10. A is called as an identifier. So A is called as an identifier. Perfect. Okay. So A is called as an identifier. You know what I mean by identifier. When you are creating variable names, don't worry about class names and method names. Don't worry about this. Think about variable names because we are learning about variables now. When you are providing a name to the variable, you have to follow some rules. When you are providing name to the variables, you have to follow some rules. What are the rules for identifiers? These variable names can be from A to Z, any letter from A to Z. It can also use capital letters. Variables can also have numbers. Variables can also have underscores. All these are allowed. Variable names can be small letters from A to Z, capital letters A to Z, can use numbers. Variable names can also have underscores. All these are allowed. The problem is variable name should not start with digit. It should not start with digit. Okay, that's very important point. Keep in mind. Next. Here I am creating like a equal to 10. Compare, look at this. Like a equal to 10, understand this statement. A is a variable, which I'm storing 10 in the variable a. Similarly, if I write total equal to 100, that means what is total? Total is a variable. I'm storing value 100 in the total. It's a variable, like A is a variable, B is a variable, total is also a variable. But very important, if you look at the variable names, the first variable total, all are written in small letters. Second variable total, the first letter is capital letter and rest of the letters are small case. If you look at the third variable, all the letters are in uppercase. All the letters are uppercase. All these variables are different. In Python, they are case sensitive. Variables are case sensitive. So small letter, so variable name total in small case is different. First letter total and rest of the letter small is different and total is different. So it's case sensitive. Don't think these are all same variables. These are different variables. So what are the new things you have learned now? Identifiers are nothing but names. It can be variable name to start with. It can be variable names. We have not created any variable. We'll be starting now. Variable names are case sensitive. You have to follow some rules. It should not start with number. It is case sensitive. So you have some understanding about variables. Let's get started. A equal to 10. What does that mean? A is a variable. I'm storing value 10 to that particular variable. Agree? Similarly, if I write if equal to 20, if I write if equal to 20, look at this. Let's modify this program. Let's modify this program. I'm writing A equal to 10. What's the file name? zyx.py. Okay, very good. I am saving this as a modified program. So I have created one variable. I created one variable A pointing to 10. So I want to run this program again. The file name is same, right? Isn't it? The file name is same. xyz.py. Are you getting an error? Error? No error. In the same way, instead of A, if I write if equal to 10, now if I run the program, you get an error, invalid. If is invalid. What's the problem? When I'm writing A equal to 10, it is happily accepted. But if I write if equal to 10, this is a variable, right? Variable can be in small letters, A to Z, variable can be in capital letters. I'm following the rules of identifiers, but you're getting an error because if is a keyword. Variables cannot, identifiers cannot be keywords. You cannot create a variable with the name true. You cannot. You can create a variable with A. You can create a variable with B. You can create a variable with my name Sunil. You can create variable with your names. That's problem. But you cannot create a variable with the name true. You cannot create variable with false. You cannot create variable name with as none, and or not, if else, while, for, break, continue, return, in, yield, true, except, finally, raise. These are all what reserved words. You cannot use it in your program. You cannot use it in your program. They are reserved. Isn't it? When you go to a restaurant, a table is reserved. It shows as reserved. So you cannot use that particular table. In the same way, these words are reserved. You cannot use these words as your variable names. So total 33 words are available in Python. I've given a list, just your information. If anybody asks you, are there any reserved words, then you should be in a position. Yes, there are reserved words. We should not use those reserved words when you're creating a name for the variable. And in all these reserved words, only true, false, none. These are the only three words which are in uppercase. That means first letter is in uppercase, rest of the letters are in small case. Remaining all the letters, everything is in lowercase. This is called title case. Only first letter is capital letters, rest of the letters are small. Remaining all in small letters. That's just for your observation. So remember true, false, and none. When you're dealing with true, false, and none, T should be uppercase. In false, F should be in uppercase, and N should be none. That should be uppercase. Okay. Okay. Perfect. So my dear friends, you now know how to create a variable. In fact, you have executed it. You now know how to create a variable. So this is a program to create. I have created a variable A, which is pointing to, which is stored as 10. So you have now created a program which is having a variable. Now if you run the program, you will not find any problem at all. The program has been executed. You may have question, Sunil, there is no output. Yes, there is no output. Did you write print statement? If you write print statement, you get the output. If you don't write print statement, why do you get the output? Yes, the program has been successfully executed. That's it. You're not getting any output. Yes, if you write print statement, then you get the output. I hope you understood. Okay, so shall we move ahead, my dear friends? Shall we move ahead? Please respond in the chat box. Shall we move ahead? Let's move ahead with creating a next program, which we are starting variables. Especially, my dear friends, day 2. Every day will be interesting. And believe Python is very, very easy. Python is very, very easy. You have to prove instructions to your mind saying that Python is easy. Yes, let's get started. Let's write a first program. In the previous programs, we have never created any variables. For the first time, we are creating variables. Let's learn, make ourselves comfortable how to create variables, how to deal with variables, how to print variables. Let's make ourselves comfortable with dealing with variables in Python? Let's get started. What we are planning now? Sunil, what are we doing, my dear friends? Let us write a program to calculate sum of two numbers. Okay. If you want to calculate sum of two numbers, you need some variables. Variable A, I want to store some value. Variable B, I want to store some value. And then I want to print, add those values. Okay. So do we need any variables? Yes, you can read the variables. Okay. No. In two ways, you can run this program. You can create a program to calculate sum of two numbers in a Python file. Okay, like this, how I'm creating xyz.py, you can write it in a Python file, or you can run it in integrated development learning environment. Okay, so let's look at the first approach. I don't want to write it in a Python file. Let's close this file. Let's close this edit plus. I don't want it edit plus. I want to run the program in the environment. Okay, I don't want to run it in the command prompt. Close the command prompt. Open the command prompt, and I want to run the program in integrated learning environment. So I have the environment ready with me. How do you run the program? How do you start the ideally by writing the word Python, environment gets opened. So this is your learning environment, ideally, which is a REPL tool, which reads your program. REPL, R-E-P-L, read, evaluate, print, and again loop. Loop is nothing but reading the next line. So this three symbols. Okay, so greater than symbol helps you to write this. Your prompt is waiting for your Python program. I want to calculate sum of two numbers. What's there in it? A equal to 10. Variable name is A. I'm storing value in A. Variable B equal to 20. Now what I want to do? I want to calculate sum of two numbers. So in such case, you can calculate sum of two numbers. You can give the product of two numbers. Print. Open the brackets. A plus B. Are you getting the result? Yes. You have performed sum of two variables. Variable A is having 10 value. Variable B is having 20. Now I am writing A plus B is giving 30. So if I write print A multiplied, star is multiplication operator, into A into B. So 10 into 20, you are getting as 200. Perfect. So we have executed, we have created variables, we have stored the value 10 in the variable A, we have stored value 20 in the variable B. Now you are performing some mathematical operations using the variable names. Okay, perfect. So create the same program in a Python file. Okay, I don't want to close, I want to close this environment. I want to close this environment. I want to close this environment. I want to create a Python file. Can I do it? Can I create a Python file? Yes. Whenever you want to create a Python file, obviously you have to open the editor. What is editor? The new editor what I have used is edit plus. File, new. It's not a text file. It's not a HTML file. It's not a Perl program. It's not a Java program. Go to others. And we are creating a Python file. Okay, empty Python file opens. What I want to do, A equal to 10. I'm storing a value A 10. B equal to 20. Yes. Second variable created. I'm storing 20 in second variable. Print A plus B. Save this Python program with extension.py. Where do you want to save it? I want to save it in my D drive. The name of the folder is yellow, and this file name ABC is done, completed, ZY is completed. So let's say pqr.py. I have saved it. Yes, if you want, you can check it. I have saved the file pqr.py, and if you want to run this, open the command prompt. Open the command prompt, go to the location where the Python file is saved. I remember the Python file is saved in D drive, CD, Sunil directory, and how to run it, Python, followed the file name pqr.py. Are you getting 30? Evaluate the code, A plus B. Evaluate the code, print of A plus B. Are you getting 30? So I just want to make yourself, so you can have some additional spaces. There's no harm. Okay, so don't think that if you don't give, you can give a number of spaces to make yourself comfortable. It's very readable. Okay, so you can give some spaces, you can give some empty lines. And I have modified this, I have saved the file, and I want to run the program. So are you getting any error? You are not getting any error. Okay, so you can give some spaces, readable. Okay, it's not very comfortable. You can give some empty lines, that's okay. Can I also write one more print statement? A multiplied by B. I have added one more print statement. So I have saved the file. I go back and run the file. Here, line number 6 output is 30. Line number 6 output is 30. Line number 8 output is 200. So my dear friends, am I clear? Am I clear in showing you? I hope I'm very clear. I'm showing you, and I have clearly explained you how to create variables. How to create variables. Variables are called as identifiers. You know how to create variables, how to declare the variables, and how to use the variables, and we have performed arithmetic operations also. Very important observation. Look at this observation. We do not require to mention the data type of the variable. Have you observed? Go to your program. Variable name A, you are storing 10 in it. Are you mentioning the data type of the variable? Are you anywhere mentioning that variable A should store integers? Variable A should store characters? Variable A should be of string data type. Are you mentioning any data type? No. In Python, you don't need to mention the data type, just variable name, whatever you want, you can store it. You don't mention the data type. You don't need to mention the data type. That is what dynamically typed. Yesterday, we have seen one feature. Yesterday, one of the important features of Python is dynamically typed. Point number 5, dynamically typed. Can you see dynamically typed? That means type refers to data type. You don't need to mention the data type in your program. Just mention the variable name and what value you want to store. That's it. Don't mention the data type. Automatically, as you're storing integer, B becomes integer, and you're storing 10. 10 is an integer, so it becomes an integer data type. So, very important observation you have to understand in this program is that we don't need to mention the data type of the variable. Okay. Okay. The many participants raising their hands. Okay. The many participants raising their hands. Let's have interaction randomly with some of the participants. Starting with Sai Lokesh.
Hi, Sunil.
Good evening, Sai. How are you doing? How is today's class?
Yeah, it was good. Yesterday's class also very good.
Thank you. What's your question?
I have a doubt that I have installed Python. It was not opening in command prompt.
Have you installed Python?
Yeah.
When did you do that? Today?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. It should work. Have you followed the same steps?
Yes, I have followed. In command prompt, it's showing C user.
You do one thing. Create one Python file, like how I have created today. In any location, it can be D drive, okay, or in location. Create one Python file. Open the command prompt and try to run the Python file. It should work because it has successfully installed in many persons' laptop. It should work side location. Okay, try one more.
Thank you.
Shravan.
Hi, good evening, Sunil.
Good evening, Shravan. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Your question.
Yes, Sunil, actually, I'm learning full stack development.
Very good.
And also, I'm graduated in 2018.
2018, you have completed.
Yes. Is it okay to go as a fresher or put some experience or?
You have completed your qualification in 2018, right?
Yes. Sunil.
So you are not called as fresher. Who is called as freshers? If you are completed in the year 2022,
Okay.
Probably 21, or the recent batch out after a couple of months, 23 passed out. So they are called as freshers. So you have to you cannot apply for fresher jobs, because in the fresher job, people are invited for 2022-23 participants. Okay.
Okay.
Good evening, Akshay. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thanks for asking, Sunil.
Thank you.
How's about you?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Akshay.
Uh, Happy to inform, Sunil. I'm the I'm the participant of batch 84 for DevOps.
Oh my God.
Yes,
DevOps batch
and
84. Okay.
yes. And as per that requirements from client, recently I joined your batch, Python batch. And
Okay.
this is
From that
happy
WhatsApp group. Thank
notes.
you. Thank you.
Yes. And happy notes is that earlier I was working for as a production in that production support.
Production support.
But yes, and right now I'm successfully able to move from
Change
production
to.
supports to the DevOps, and
Congratulations. When did you do that? When did you
and
do
right
that? When did
now,
you shift to your platform?
which is 4 months back, but I never get a chance to discuss with you regarding that because I was little
Yes.
busy in my work.
No
So
problem.
I'm working here as a SRA.
Congratulations by
Yes,
successfully
and
changing
it's
your production support to DevOps.
yes, and it's product-based organizations which I got now.
Very good. Very
So
good.
yeah,
Congratulations.
so and
Thank you.
special thanks to
And
you because
as thank
without you it was not possible for me.
my dear participants, let's congratulate Akshay in the chat box. He was production support executive. He has successfully migrated from production support to DevOps engineer now. Okay. So Akshay, how was your journey? I mean, is it easy? Are you able to clear the interview, or 50% of the questions you're able to clear?
Uh, yes, actually most of the things are covered from your batch, which you have delivered the contents and few
How
things
many years of experience you have mentioned?
uh, which was around actually the thing is that I having 2.5 years of experience in IT and I have projected as a 2 years of experience in DevOps and I have learned
DevOps.
accordingly. Yes, all the things
Perfect.
from
Perfect.
some YouTubes, from your classes,
Thank you.
from the Indians,
Good, good.
and right now
Perfect.
I'm sitting here.
Learning Python. Thank you,
Yes.
Akshay. So Python is always advantage for a DevOps professional, Akshay. Okay.
Yeah,
So
actually,
I
the
hope you
thing is
get that.
that Sunil, right now my managers asked me to learn few things about Python so along with DevOps. It will be another great advantage for you. So that's what I have joined your batch.
84. Thank you for staying in the WhatsApp group so that now we got the update about the Python batch, Akshay.
Yeah, yeah. One more time, thank you,
Thank you.
Sunil.
Thank you. Very happy to talk.
Thanks. Yeah,
Thank you. Happy to listen to you.
thank
I'm
you, Sunil.
lucky that you got unmuted. Most of the
Yeah,
success
Sunil.
stories are not
I
reported because there is
yeah,
no communication between me and the
actually I
participant.
tried also most of the times, but I never get a
Okay.
chance. Yes, thank you,
Okay.
thank you.
Finally, you did it. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
All the best.
thank you. Bye.
Good. Yesterday we had success stories. Today also we had success stories. Very good. Deepa Gosavi.
Hi Sunil, how are you doing?
Doing well, Deepa. How are you? Your location, your experience.
I'm from Pune location, and I just wanted to know that I'm a fresher. I'm like a beginner to IT, and my background is commerce. So, would you recommend doing Python first, or should I start with something else?
You're a fresher, right?
Yeah, I'm not. I'm from a non-IT background completely, commerce background.
You want to get into IT job
Yes,
and you want to acquire the skills.
yes, that's right.
The best thing is Python. You are in the right track. Okay. Yes.
Okay, so this course should help. Like this will be the first stage.
You are right. To start with, this course is enough, and then I recommend you to go into cloud technologies like DevOps and AWS. Okay, there are a lot of advanced technologies also available in the market. You have artificial intelligence, machine learning. I recommend you to learn the latest technologies. It's always helps you to getting edge advantage, helps you to get interview calls. If you can prove it in the interview, you will get the offer. Okay. So Deepika, you are in the right track and you have started right. Please end it right also. Thank you. Vishnuvardhan.
Yep. Hi, Sunil.
Good evening.
I'm from Hyderabad. Actually, I'm a DevOps engineer working for a product-based company.
Okay, good. Thank
So,
you.
actually, I got it out. Like, is Python course useful to me, or should I opt the advanced Python course?
Without the basic Python, you cannot go for advanced Python. Agree, Vishnu?
Yes. Okay.
So,
And will you cover advanced also after this session or after this 30
batch?
days? Yeah.
I am planning to do that. I cannot promise now,
Okay.
but I'm planning to do that. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I request you to plan because then only our course will be successful. I think.
Yes,
So.
you are right. You are right. Even though I don't plan, if you're strong in basics, you can learn yourself advanced Python. Okay. So that's not a problem. Thank you. But still, I'm planning to do that. That's in my pipeline.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Sinu. Thank you for your sessions.
How do you came to know about this course?
Yeah, actually, I have joined in the WhatsApp group it's almost 6 to 8 months back. So I am planning to join in any one session. So this time I got a
This
chance.
timing is feasible. Right?
Yes.
Thank you, Vishnu. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
This time, let's have with the looks like international Naveen Gupta.
Yeah, hi Sunil.
Good evening,
How are you?
Naveen.
I'm your previous student for DevOps batch, Sunil.
Thank you,
Nice to
Naveen.
talk with you after a long time. Yes, Sunil, have a doubt like this Python is enough for to DevOps engineer or we has to learn anything?
A DevOps engineer should not, you don't need to be advanced Python. You're not a Python programmer to build applications, right? I mean, we'll be using Python
Yes.
scripting in a DevOps. So this is enough.
Okay, this is enough, right?
Correct. Yes. This 25
Yeah,
days
thanks.
to 30 days of training is enough. Okay, Naveen?
Sure. Thanks, Sunil.
Joel. Good evening, Joel. You have to unmute. By default, you'll be on mute. You have to unmute and talk. Okay. Let's move on. Let's move on. So very important observation. You don't require to mention the data type. That's very important observation. Okay. And one more important point, we're getting some messages. If you do not belong to WhatsApp group, please join the WhatsApp group from the website, logiclabstech.com. I hope you have the URL with you. I'm posting the URL in the chat box. So go to the website, go to upcoming batches. This is the batch which we are scheduled now, Python, which we have started yesterday, 5:30 p.m. And this is the Zoom registration link. I hope you already have it. That's why you are here. And if you want to buy the course, you can click here. And if you want to join the WhatsApp group, please click here. Okay, so we already yesterday's WhatsApp group was full. So we have created one more WhatsApp group. And I'm sending this WhatsApp group. Do not join the duplicate groups. If you are already in the Python batch 1-to-1, so that's enough. In case if you do not join, if you are not in the WhatsApp group to get the updates about this particular training, I recommend you to join the WhatsApp group from this website. Okay. Next. Very important point of today's class. You know how to, you know the list of keywords which we should not use it, true, false, none, if, elif. These are all keywords. You have to, so you should not use keywords when you're creating variables. Very important. You know how to declare variables. We have declared variables. We have used the variables. We have performed some mathematical operations of variables. Very good. I am now discussing about the most important point of today's session, that's called as functions. I'm discussing about one of the most important point of today's class is function. What is a function in Python? And what's the purpose behind it? We'll get into practicals. Okay. Open the learning environment. Yes, now I am in the learning environment. Very good. Observe this. Who is ready to talk to me with respect to these examples? Please raise your hand. Who is ready to talk to me in understanding the concept of function? Who is ready to talk to me in understanding the concept of function? Please raise your hand. Okay. Good evening, Tarun. Can we have a talk?
Yeah, hi Sunil. Good
Good
evening.
evening. Okay. So let's have an understanding about this Python program. Okay. Python labs.
Okay.
A equal to 10. So what are we doing here?
So we're declaring a variable a to have the value of 10.
Yes, very good. Okay. Variable name of the variable is A. Agree?
Yes.
Have you mentioned the data type of the variable?
No.
No, we have not mentioned. We have mentioned only the name of the variable.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I want to know the data type of this variable. If I want, whenever you want to know the data type of the variable, we have a function called type. We have a function called type, which returns the data type of the variable. So open the brackets and I want to know the data type of the variable A. So mention the name of the variable in the type function. Observe what type is returning. Observe what type is returning. Tarun, what type is returning?
Integer.
That means A is a
Integer.
Did you mention that as a programmer? Is it required to mention that A is an integer? No.
No.
Never we declare the data type of the variable. We just mention the variable name. So the data type of the variable is dependent on the value what you're storing. Tarun.
Yes.
If you're storing 10, A becomes integer.
10.
Same variable, if I store 20.5, 20.5 is not an integer, it is a decimal value. Anything which is in point decimals is decimal value, isn't it? Decimal values are called as floats. I want to now know the type of the variable. Previously, A is considered as an integer. Now, A is considered as float. Variable name is same, right? Did I change the name of the variable, Tarun?
No.
No, but the data type has been changed dynamically. Agree?
Yes.
Previously, A is considered as integer. Now, now A is considered as
Float.
float. Same variable A, I'm storing a value true. Now I want to know the variable type. So type is a function which returns the type of the variable. Type refers to data type. What is the data type of the variable now?
Boolean.
Boolean. Previously A is considered as integer. After few lines A is considered as float. Now A is considered as Boolean. Dynamically a variable name is changing the data type. Agree, Tarun?
Yes.
That is based on the value what you're storing into that particular variable. Agree? Isn't it?
Yes.
So Python is dynamically typed programming language. Do you agree with this?
Yes.
Dynamically typed. We never mention the data type of the variable. So then what will be the data type of the variable? The data type of the variable is dependent on the value what you're storing. Agree, isn't it? If you want to confirm as a programmer, you want to know what type of this variable, Python is considering the variable as what data type. If you want to verify yourself, then we have a function called type. So what is type? Tarun, type is a function. What is type? Type is a function which returns the data type of the variable. Any function, anything which you find opening the brackets and closing the brackets. Can you see we have open brackets and closing the brackets, Tarun? So
Yes.
anything which you find opening brackets and closing the brackets, that means it is a function. Type is a function. What is type? Type is a function which returns the data type. What is print? Tarun, I have
Print
one
is
question.
also a function, right?
How are you identifying it?
So print is also a function to
How,
represent the
how are
value.
you identifying? It's a function.
So it is representing output.
No, print is a function. Do you agree?
Yes.
How did you identify that print is a function? Because there is an opening brackets and closing the
Closing
brackets.
brackets.
The moment you find opening brackets and closing brackets, it's a function. What's the functionality of the print function? Whatever you write in single quotes, that's as is printed in the console. That's the
Yes.
functionality. Type is having a functionality. What is the functionality? It is written as the data type of the variable you mentioned. In the same way, print is having a functionality. It returns the whatever you have mentioned in single quotes, that's as is printed. Clear? Clear
Yes.
about this. So type is a function. Type is a function which returns the data type. Print is a function which prints some characters on the screen. So we have experienced integer data type. We have experienced a float data type. And Tarun, we also have experienced a bool data type. Agree?
Yes.
So we have experienced bool. Similar to integer, float, bool. We have complex, we have string, we have byte, we have byte array, we have range, list, tuple, set. These are a lot of data types available. And once we see practicals, we will display, we'll understand it. Okay. Now, can you evaluate this program? A equal to 10. Can you understand this line? Tarun, what does it mean?
So A is storing the value of 10. It's a type A means identifier A.
What is the output of line number 2?
Integer.
Yes. Type returns the data type of the variable. It is integer. Okay. Look at this. There's a way to clear. Okay, there's no clear. That's okay. A equal to 10. Type of A. It shows that it returns the data type of A. ID of A. What it returns, don't worry, but tell me answer. What is ID? Tarun?
ID means it's an identification.
No. What is it? What is type?
Type is a function.
What is ID?
ID is also a function.
That's it. ID is a function. What it does, let's look at this.
Okay.
When you create a variable, you're creating a variable, right? Tarun, and we are
Yes.
storing a value 10 in that particular variable. Agree?
Hmm.
The name of the variable you're writing it as A. Does it consume some memory? Whenever you create a variable, does it consume some memory?
No.
Yes, it consumes some memory. Without memory, you cannot store a value, right? It
Okay.
consumes some memory. Okay. In the RAM, when you create a variable, it will consume some memory. Tarun. Okay. If you want to know the address of that particular variable, where is the memory address? Okay. So we have a function called ID function, which returns the address of the variable. This is the memory location.
Okay.
Okay. When a variable is created, it will consume the memory or not? Yes, it consumes a memory. When you take a photograph from your mobile phone, Tarun, when you take a photograph from your mobile phone, does it consume memory?
Yes, yes.
It will have
So
some
you mean to
storage
say
space,
that
right?
it is the storage location, right?
Yes, it consumes the memory. It's nothing but it stores it in your memory card of your mobile phone. Agree or not?
Yes,
In the
yes.
same way, the moment I create a variable in Python, it consumes a memory.
Yes.
And the value what it is stored in the memory is what? 10.
10.
From where it comes, where is the memory? Memory is nothing but the RAM of your personal laptop. Memory is nothing but not hard disk. Tarun.
Yes, yes.
It is the RAM of your personal laptop. It consumes a memory. Agree or not?
Yes.
If you want to know the address of the memory, we have a function called ID.
ID.
We have a function called ID. What ID will return?
The storage location of A.
Address.
Address.
Okay. It returns the address. Okay. So we have we have discussed about 3 functions. Tarun, we have discussed about 3 functions. The first function what we have discussed is a type function. What does it return? It returns the data type of the variable. We have also discussed about the ID function, which returns the address of the variable. And we also have discussed about print function. In fact, print function we have discussed from day 1, which prints the whatever you mentioned it in single quotes that is printed. So what is type? Type is a function. What is ID? ID is also a function. What is print? Print is also a function. How to identify functions in Python? How to identify functions in Python? Anything in opening the brackets and closing the brackets. Some name followed with opening the brackets and closing the brackets is nothing but a function. Answer my next question. Exit, open the brackets, close the brackets. What is exit?
It's a function.
Perfect. What does it do?
It will close it out of the
Learning environment will be closed. Exit is also a function. So these are all functions in Python which has some specific functionalities. Okay, so we have experienced about floating values. Whenever you store a number, a equal, we have stored one value, isn't it, Tarun? So
Yes.
type it as done in floating value. Similarly, true, false, these are called as Boolean values. Okay, so let me open the learning environment again. A equal to true. What's the data type of A?
Boolean.
Yes, if you want to verify it, we have to use a type function. It is shown as Boolean. True is a Boolean value. Similarly, false is also a Boolean value. Okay, don't mention it in single quotes. Okay, don't mention it in single quotes. Your value, my value, we have to mention it in single quotes. Okay, but true and false is a Boolean values which should never be mentioned in the single quotes. Okay, so quick understanding about how exactly the Python robot will work. Tarun, understand these lines of code. A equal to
10.
10.
Equal to
That means we are storing 10 in the variable A. Agree? We are
Yes.
storing 20 in the variable B.
Okay.
Now, A greater than B, 10 greater than 20. Condition is false, right?
Yes.
That means it returns false. So value C will be false. Okay, that's how it works. Okay. So whenever you're performing comparison, it either returns true or false. That's what it works. Just to make yourself comfortable with Python coding, A equal to 10, B equal to 20, C equal to A greater than B as the A greater than B as the condition is false. It will give the value as not print, not type print of C.
Let's see.
It is showing as false. Okay. Now try with this print 2 plus 2. Two plus generation error. 2 plus 2 is showing as 2. Okay. Let's modify this program. What's the name of the file? pqr.py. Can you see, Tarun?
Yes.
What's
yes.
the name of the file name? The file name is pqr.py. I want to run this file. This file is having only one line of code. Python followed with pqr.py, and this pqr.py is having only one line of code, that is 2 plus 2. True is a Boolean value, right?
Yes.
So we are adding two Boolean values, 2 and 2. So what is it? Interesting point is it is resulting in 2. That means true is internally considered as 1, digit 1 digit, okay? Decimal value 1. Tarun, are you understanding? Integer 1. So 1 plus 1. So 2 true is internally considered as 1. Agree?
Okay.
True minus false is internal. If true is considered as 1, false is considered as
0.
So this is line number 3. Let's evaluate this code, Tarun. Output of line number 1.
2.
Output of line number 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 minus 0.
1.
1. You are right. You're getting 1. Agree. 0 minus 1.
Minus 1.
Are you getting minus 1? Yes.
Yes.
False is considered as 0. 0 minus 0 is
0. 0.
1 into 0 is
0.
0. Are you getting the right results?
Yes.
Yes, isn't it? Yes. So technically, true is considered as 1 and false is considered as 0. That's how it technically behaves in Python. Much more interesting information about Python in our tomorrow's class. Are you ready, Tarun?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you
So
very much.
Sunil, what about none? None is considered as
None is considered as null. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll discuss about this in coming classes. Okay. Tarun?
Okay. Okay.
Thank you very much. How do you know this course?
Yeah, it is great. Learn.
No, how do you know this institute?
Yeah, one of my friend, he is also joined in this meeting, Dhananjay.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
Convey my regards to him. Thank you very much.
Yes, sure.
Okay. So my dear friends, please respond in the chat box. Am I clear in the concept of today's agenda? Please respond in the chat box. Am I clear in explaining you an editor called Edit Plus? Am I clear in showing you how to write comments in Python? The identifiers are nothing but variables. Am I clear in explaining you how to create variables? How to use key? You know the list of keywords. How to declare variables. I have explained functions also. We have discussed about print function, ID function, as well as type function, which returns the data type of this. Are you ready for the next interesting concept? Yes. These sessions are absolutely free. No one will ask you to make the payment. But in case if you want the videos, if you want to get the PPTs, and if you want to get the notes which I'm using in our day-to-day classes, if you want all these notes which I'm using in day-to-day classes, I recommend you to visit to this particular website, logiclabstech.com. I recommend you to go to this particular site, logiclabstech.com, go to the upcoming batches. This is our Python, which we have started yesterday, and click on buy now, sign up with Google, and then it's just 1,179 for lifetime access to the recorded sessions, notes, as well as PowerPoint. Or you can enjoy the learning free, absolutely for no of cost. Stay tuned for tomorrow's session where we'll be learning much more about Python. Until then, goodbye. Have a good time.